Alright, welcome to designergore.com. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make prosthetic transfers with Designer Gore's Ultimate FX Trays. Alright, first thing is materials. Take a look at the list. Everything but the FX tray can be purchased at Motion Picture Effects Company, located in Burbank, California. They pretty much have everything you need and they're extremely helpful. Okay, with a magic marker, go ahead and find the treated side of the acetate paper. Now, it's going to bead up, as you can see. This is the side that goes down onto the tray and actually what your prosthetic transfer is going to stay on. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and clean up a little bit using some alcohol. Make sure there's no dust. Then I'm going to go ahead and use two different kinds of sprays. That is essentially a Vaseline spray, and then misting it with an epoxy parafilm. Again, both these can be bought at Motion Picture Effects. Okay, do a nice mist and even coat with the Vaseline. This is really going to help get this transfer out of the mold. And then a second coat of mold release using the epoxy parafilm. And try to get all the different angles so you really get a nice coat of mold release on there. Okay. I've picked my wound. I'm going to go ahead and apply some prosthetic transfer material, which is essentially thickened pros-aide. And I've taken care to really get it in the creases, and once I put my acetate paper down, the beaded side, that's actually touching that, and I'm just kind of squeegeeing it off with in that case, a scraper, but you can use other objects. Just you really want something flat, something firm, and you can just like that. Okay. Then it's going to go into your freezer. It only needs 20 minutes. This is not a silicone mold, which takes a little bit longer, so you really only want 20-25 minutes and then you take it out. You're catching it right when it freezes, and this just helps it to get out of the mold a little bit easier. You don't want to do a whole sheet of these. You really want to be able to work all the different sides to kind of finesse it out. Again, it is a rigid mold, and it's not like the silicone flexible mold, but it can be done, as you can see here. Comes out nicely. Now when it's frozen, go ahead and just remove all of that excess. You don't need it. Just kind of get everything completely, to the best of your ability, off of that acetate paper. This is going to give you a really nice edge. Alright, I like to keep all of my transfers organized and safe, so I put them in a little box, a little bit of foam board on the bottom, and kind of pin it into place until I'm ready to use them. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and prepare a piece. Now I'm doing this right before I'm applying it. You don't really want to do it any earlier than a half hour before you apply your piece. So I'm just putting an even layer of pros-aide medical adhesive. You don't need a lot, just a thin layer, and dry it. This is going to essentially make sure that the water slide paper really sticks to it. And you'll see here when I put it on that I'm just going to press every little inch, every little aspect of that paper into the wound. Now you want to keep the shiny side is what's going on to the transfer. If you don't do that, it's not going to come off. Now you can see there I've outlined the wound, just kind of put it up to a light and look at it. This is going to help for placement. I'm also going to go in and trim around all the excess paper. Alright, let's get started. There's my model, super excited, ready to get wounded. Now I'm going to go ahead and clean off any excess dirt, any makeup that might be on the surface of the skin. I'm just going to prep that skin. And I like to put a little bit of a little happy amount of medical adhesive on the skin just to ensure that the piece is going to really adhere properly. It's not going to go anyplace. I'm going to peel that acetate paper carefully off, and I'm going to find a place Then I can wound my model right there. Looks like a good spot. And I'm going to gently press into the skin. Alright, now I'm going to, with some water and a sponge, just wet the entire surface. Don't soak it, the water doesn't need to go everywhere, just a nice wetted coat and it peels right off. Then I'm going to go over the surface one more time with water, take all the edges off with 99% alcohol. Alright, now you're going to go ahead and add your makeup. Everybody has different techniques, so I'm going to just skip this. And you can see I've applied it. I've used alcohol activated makeups, and the blood I'm using is Fleet Street blood by Premier Products. Some of the best blood I've ever used. Big fan. So making transfers with the Ultimate FX Tray is a great way to learn about transfers for stage, haunted houses, but if you really want to learn more about making transfers in depth, Stan Winston's school has a number of great DVDs. And of course you can get the highly informative book Special Makeup Effects by Todd DeBrasini. Quite a classic. And that brings us to the end. Be sure to check out the Ultimate FX Tray series at designergore.com.